This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello and welcome to Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio. Thank you for joining us. We're your hosts. My name is Marcie Davis, and my co-host is my amazing service dog, Lovey. And we're excited to be with you today to talk about our favorite subject, working dogs and working animals. And today we are welcoming Carol Ann Doyle and her beautiful Paws with a Cause service dog, Winnie. And Winnie is Carol Ann's third service dog. And Carol Ann is going to talk with us today about her experience as a service dog handler. So come right back after these quick messages as we welcome Carol Ann Doyle and Winnie to the show.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. cattreetray.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio. We're so excited to have Carol Ann Doyle and Winnie with us today. Hello, Carol Ann and Winnie, and welcome.
Oh, thank you. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so glad that you two could be here. And Carol Ann, first of all, tell us about Winnie, what kind of dog she is and what she does for you.
Okay. She's a chocolate lab. I think she's an English lab. She's a little bit shorter than my other dogs that I had. She does all sorts of things that allow me to make it through each day and be a lot more independent. It's to start off the day. She has a rope toy, and it's really not a toy for her. It's a tool. And she brings it to me. I'm in bed and I can put my legs over the edge of the bed, but I can't pull myself to a sitting position anymore. And so she gives me one end of the rope toy and she takes the other end and she backs up and she'll pull me to a sitting position. And she knows when to stop so I don't keep coming. And then I'm able to get up and stand and use my crutches and pivot into my electric wheelchair. So that's how she gets me up in the morning.
Carol Ann. That's awesome. What a great way to wake up every day.
It sure is. And before that, I usually get a good licking in my hands in case I don't wake up.
Yeah, she's telling you good morning and get up. Yep.
Time for breakfast.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Well, I love that you say she's an English lab. Actually, that's what Lovey is too. So Lovey's a little shorter. I know what you mean by that. Yeah, but I love the chocolate labs. They are
this is
so
my first
gorgeous.
chocolate. My first one. My other two are black labs.
I've never had a chocolate. So yeah, that is so cool. Well, you mentioned your other two dogs. How did you decide to get your first service dog, Carol Ann?
Well, I was living on my own, but things are getting a little bit harder for me to do. I was working, I was a teacher and at a vocational school, and things just started getting harder throughout the day, getting up and doing everything. And I saw an article in the newspaper about service dogs, and it was in the next town over, the lady was a regional trainer. And that's what I like about Paws is you don't have to go there. They have regional trainers covering different states and they'll come to you. And so I read the article and thought, this is a message for me. And so I got in touch with Linda Hume and she came down and evaluated me and thought we that I would be a good candidate for a service dog. And that's how it started. And it was 1992.
Oh, wow. So you've had a dog a long time, Carol Ann.
I have been very fortunate.
Yeah, yeah. What a blessing.
Paws has it's a successor program, and they have an endowment program that allows, people can make contributions. And so when you lose one of your dogs, they don't replace them. They give you a successor dog. And it's so important that that happens because, the dog is so much an integral part of your life and makes your life so much better. So it's important. And I liked that idea also.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was one of the things that I wanted to ask you about today is, what is it like to transition to another dog and how has that been for you?
Yeah, I thought it would be difficult. And I know initially they thought maybe I should get a different, sometimes they train golden retrievers also. But I really loved my first, well, I love all of them, but my first dog, Calla, I just liked having the black lab and a female. And so that's what I requested, if I could still have a black lab. And they did. And I think that they fear that you might make comparisons with them, with your other dog, or, with the new dog. But I didn't have to do that. They were so unique and so different from each other that it just worked out always. Each one is very special and very different.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. They are so different. Their
Yeah.
personalities, their interests, their motivations, everything is usually so different. Well, take us back to when you got your first dog. So, what was that process like for you? How was it with your work and your life? How did you acclimate yourself to having a dog with you 24/7?
Yeah, it was challenging. It had its ups and downs, but everybody was excited for me knowing that I was going to get it. And the first dog, you don't have to pay yourself, but you are involved in fundraising. So we did several, and the local trainer was very good working with me, helping me to organize different events. And we had some things at the school where I was teaching to raise money. And then we had local events. We had bake sales and whatever. And actually different organizations locally made contributions. And so then when Calla first came, it was exciting, but it was also, like I said, challenging because I had to be responsible for this dog getting food, getting eating and going out to the bathroom and then learning, not learning, but making the transition from the trainer in Michigan to me in Newburyport, Mass, that the dog would do the jobs for me also. So it takes a while. It's a slow process. And you don't start out with them doing jobs right away. You have to wait for the trainer to come. And, you're just really bonding with the dog initially. Like the first week, she stayed hooked to my wheelchair most of the time so that she would know that I was the alpha.
Yep, you were her person. Yep,
Yeah, right.
exactly. Yes,
And it
yes.
worked. It worked. They know what they're doing. And the organization was absolutely wonderful in providing all the support that I needed.
Yeah. And it is work. I really appreciate you saying that because so many people who haven't had the experience oftentimes think that, it's like a robot that you get and it automatically knows everything. And that is not the case.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and commitment on both the dog's part and your part as the handler.
Yes.
Yeah, so true. It's hard work and consistency. Yeah.
I know my students were excited, waiting to bring her to school and everything. And I couldn't bring her the first week, but it worked out that I was on school vacation. So I was able to, when I went back to work, I was able to bring her with me. And, we just took it slow and easy, and it really did work out well. My students loved her. And the hardest part was telling them that they really shouldn't pet her, but because you're not supposed to let people pet them out while they're working anyway, because they can become distracted. And if you need them, then they're not there for you.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true. And I bet they were excited when you came with this gorgeous black lab.
Yeah, they
I'm sh-
were.
yeah. Well, so you mentioned that really cool thing that your dogs do for you of that Winnie helps you get out of bed. What other things, Carolyn, do you use your dog to help you with?
I have leashes on all my doors that go in and out. And so she can back up and open the door when anybody comes or when I give her the word to open the door. and she can pick things up off the floor, and now after so long, all I have to do is say, "Oh, darn," or whatever I'm going to say. Maybe a little stronger than that. But it's like they know, and they come, and she'll come and pick it up, whatever it is. I don't even have to ask anymore. They just do it automatically.
Yeah.
She also can open the refrigerator door, which is a big help, so that I can, reach things to my lunch or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she is trained to bring the telephone, my portable phone, so that if I fell or if something happened and I couldn't access it myself, she would bring the phone to me.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And just the security too. I just feel like I'm not alone. I feel safe and secure. And I don't know if you just heard her bark, but somebody walked by.
I was going to say, she's telling you. Yep. She's telling you that somebody out there. Yep.
Somebody walked by.
Mm-hmm. And so you do live alone, you and Winnie.
I do.
Yeah, it's wonderful that you can have that and have
Yes.
that independence, Carol Ann. That's huge. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have to ask you, when you retired your first dog, because you do live alone, did you keep that dog, or did you make some other arrangements with Paws with a Cause?
I kept her until she passed away. And when I retired, I was still kind of active doing things outside. We started volunteering at the local hospital, and we would go into, I forget the name of it, it was a rehab unit. And so I talked to the trainer, and they said, because Cal had been with me so long that I could let them pet her. And we would go and visit the patients, and they were not severely sick. They were like recovering from surgery or maybe a stroke or something, but it was like a small rehab part of it. I forget the name, I forget the exact name of the ward. But anyway, it was in the local hospital. And when I would go in, they would be so excited. They would start to talk and say, they'd start to tell me about their dog. And it was really such a positive experience for them and for me and for Cal also. And one time I went in, and it was an older lady, and she said, this is better than any medicine I've had.
Oh, I'm sure that was so wonderful to hear. And she meant every word of that.
She did.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, I think it was medicine for all of you.
Right.
That's just such a win-win all the way around. Yeah. I love that. I love to see retired working dogs that still get to have some kind of activity, or like all of us, we want to be valued and needed. Yeah.
One of my first dog, Cal, I was still teaching with her, and I retired with her, but I had special needs students in a vocational high school. And it was really amazing because she was so sensitive to people's needs. And I remember two different students, one young student was crying, and not out loud, but I didn't realize it. And Cal went over and laid down right beside them and drew my attention to them. And so I was able to go over and address the student, she brought my attention to them anyway. She was so sensitive to it. And another student was so angry and had such difficulties in his life going on. And he was refusing to do any work. And Cal went over, and again, she sat down beside him, and he just slowly his hand went down and started petting her head. And so then he looked at me, and he got up and he started doing his stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's just incredible. That awareness that they have and that sensitivity is just to witness.
And it's amazing that patients or in the hospital or kids in my classroom would do things for Cal that they wouldn't necessarily do for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. It just enhanced your ability as a teacher. You had an amazing teacher's assistant. Yeah. Wow. I love that. Well, Carol Ann, we are going to take just a quick break and hear some important messages from our sponsors. And then we're going to come back and keep talking, because I have some more questions to ask you about your experience as a service dog handler that I know our listeners are going to want to hear. So come right back.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There's no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio. We're visiting today with Carol Ann Doyle and her Paws with the Cause service dog, Winnie. And before the break, Carol Ann, you were telling us about what an incredible teacher's assistant Cal was for you and how it was just amazing of how Cal was able to connect with your students on a level that you may not have even been aware of at the time. So I want to ask you, what is the biggest lesson that you have learned from your service dogs?
Oh, I guess I've learned a lot. I guess I've learned what love really is about. It's a give and take thing and reciprocal, and they love you no matter what, and I just love them to pieces. And, but there's a responsibility that goes with it also. You have to be on top of things and make sure that the dog is taken care of. And because I've had several hospital stays and made sure that I had a system set up. One of my sisters would come down and stay with the different dogs when I would go in the hospital. And so, I don't know, I think it's a learning process that you just keep learning throughout your experience with them.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Carol Ann, you just nailed it. I mean, by you saying it's what love really is about, that just immediately brought tears to my eyes because I could not agree with you more. I mean, I'm like you. I've had a service dog for about as long as you have.
Really?
And I have, and I'm still blown away by it every day, by their willingness to be so loving themselves and non-judgmental and serving us in just so many ways. It's just...
I was always amazed at what my different dogs would bring out in other people, I'll just tell you a quick thing back at when I was teaching. When I first got her, one of the local papers put in, Whittier has a new teacher aide, and they had Winnie, Cal's picture on the article and talked about service dogs and what they do and why she was there with me and so forth. And the other thing I thought of this afterwards, at that time, this is in the 90s, in school, they didn't want kids wearing their hats in school, but kids would try to get away with it. They'd be walking down the hall and have their hat on. But Cal didn't like hats on people. I don't know if she didn't like because you couldn't see their face or whatever. But one time she would maybe start to bark or do something, like not even loud or anything, but we always had the experience walking down the hall. If kids were coming towards us, not even my students, they would quickly take their hats off and put it on after they passed her.
They knew that she did not approve of those hats. Yeah.
But they would do it for her, but not for, the authority.
For the authority. That's so cute. She didn't know that she was the hall monitor. Yep.
Yeah, she was a good influence.
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet.
We traveled a lot too. The first dog that I had, we went to California and state of Washington and Tennessee. And when I went on the plane, the stewardess, they'd always come over and want to know what they could do for Cal. Does she need water? Does she need a pillow? I said, no, but I could use a pillow.
Yeah, they weren't worried about you. They were just worried about Cal. Yep. That's so true.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yes.
And have all the attention she wants.
Yes, exactly. And did you guys mostly fly when you traveled together?
Yeah, although we did take trips up to, because I'm in Massachusetts, we went up to New Hampshire and Vermont, and my family would drive me up. I have a special van for the wheelchair, and she had a special seat in there. And
of course,
so we would travel different places, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you don't travel much with Winnie.
I don't, not as much anymore. I'm getting older.
Yeah, me
We travel
too,
around.
Carol Ann. Yeah, me too. I'm traveling less than I used to, that's for sure. Yeah, that's part of it. Aging with the disability is a whole different.
It certainly is. Mm.
Yeah. I don't know how long you've had your disability, but for me, I'm almost to hit 50 years, Carol Ann, coming up on it.
I was born, mine is a birth defect, so I've had it all my life.
Yeah. Well, I was 6, so I feel like I've had mine almost all my life.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I can relate to what you're saying. Yeah, aging is a different story, which is even more important that we have a great assistance dog to help us. As I
absolutely.
know, my abilities are slowly declining, and I don't always want to, recognize that every day, but it's reality. Yeah. Yeah, it just is. Well, I want to ask you, what advice would you have for someone who is actually thinking about getting a service dog?
Well, I have actually recommended to some of my friends that are someone that has a disability that I know of to get one, to pursue it, and see if it's something that would work in your life, if it would give you help, and if you can be sure that you are able to manage it. They do a very thorough interview with you to make sure that the dog is going to be taken care of properly and that you can do it, and that it's going to work for you. It's going to make your life better and easier. So my advice is to check it out, do it, go for it.
Yeah, I know. I tell people it's like making any other major purchase in your life. You need to do your homework. You need to do some research and make sure that it is something, because it is a whole life changer.
It
Everything
is.
in your life really changes.
It does. Yeah. Definitely for the better, but it does come with a lot of responsibility too.
Yes, like you were saying about if you have to have surgery, having a family member or friend, or you have to
Right.
have plans for your
Exactly.
dog. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
And when it's storming out, well, you get the snow out there too. We have to make plans that the dog still has to get out and go to the bathroom. And
right.
so, you have to have that set in place too. And I'm very fortunate where I live. I live in elderly housing with handicap units.
Oh, nice.
They're very supportive group here. The neighbors are, and the maintenance staff. And if I'm stranded, I don't really get stranded. They'll come and say, "Does Winnie need to go out, or
Oh,
Cal, or Breeze, or the different ones?"
yeah.
They'll help me, so that's good. Make sure I'm shoveled out. And actually, they shovel a great big path area for her to go outside my apartment,
Nice.
their own
Yeah.
bathroom area.
All those things you have to think about.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you do have to think of those things. Those are all important things to take care of and deal with.
Yes. Do you use little booties on Winnie in the snow?
No, I don't, because I wouldn't be able to put them on,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and I don't. Someone gave me some waxy type stuff to put on, but I can't do that either.
Yeah.
But she doesn't stay out. They really do shovel right almost down to the ground, and so unfortunately in the winter I don't walk her as much as I do
Yeah.
the weather. But we do still get out. We'll go out, and my health aides will take us shopping, so she's getting some exercise. And
Nice. Well, I'm sure she's enjoying being in that time of year too. It doesn't really want to be out that much. I know Lovey doesn't. Yeah.
I don't know. Winnie does love the snow.
Uh-huh.
She's like a
Yes.
snow angel. She goes
Yeah.
out and she runs back and forth and jumps through it, and she looks like a deer bounding through it.
Yeah, they do love the snow. And how old is Winnie now?
Winnie's going to be 6 in November.
Oh, so she is just in her prime.
She is. She had a litter, 4 puppies, and 2 males and 2 females. And I was just talking with Paws recently, and I said, what happened with them? Did they become service dogs? And 2 of them did become service dogs. One's in Michigan, and I forget where they said the other one was. And then another one became a canine police dog, and another one became a detection. No, I don't know if it's for drugs or finding people
Or
in an accident,
explosives or yeah.
even like down with the incident down in Florida going on. I saw some service labs looking for people. And
Yes, so did I. Yes, the search and rescue dogs.
I
Yes.
told Winnie, I said,
Yes.
all your children are doing great. They're
Yeah,
they're
she's
working and doing.
so proud. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
And we have some very serious conversations sometimes.
Yeah. I'm sure you two do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I know. They are trained to do so many incredible things for us.
They
But it
are.
sounds like you are like me that companionship is just, to me, that's the best of having that dog with you no matter what, and having them look at you like you're the best thing since sliced bread, and they look at you like that every day.
Absolutely right. Yeah. I don't think I'd still be here if I didn't have these wonderful gifts in my life. I just don't think I would have made it through.
Yeah.
I am
I
here.
hear you. I hear you. Yeah, you're here. You and Winnie are really here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so wonderful. Well, and so we've talked a little bit about Paws with the Cause, and I just have the utmost love and respect and adoration for Paws with the Cause. They are such a wonderful organization, as you said, out of Michigan. Is there anything you want to share with our listeners about Paws with the Cause and how they can get in touch with them, or any thoughts you have on that?
Well, I just think it's a wonderful organization, and all the people there are so supportive and so caring. And I like the idea. I think I mentioned earlier about that I didn't have to go there. A lot of places, and I don't mean to down them, but you have to go there and be trained with the dog there. But Paws does an in-depth interview with you, a video interview of your apartment or your living situation and what you hope that the dog will be able to do for you. And I just think that they just really want to make sure that they ask you a lot of other questions just to get the feel of your personality so that they'll match you with the right personality with a dog too. And also that I like the idea that it's the endowment fund. And actually when I retired and I lost Cal, several of the teachers and the students took up and they had some different fundraisers and they made a large contribution to Paws in memory of Cal. And it goes into the endowment fund, which the endowment fund is what provides people with their second and third service dog. So I haven't had to pay for my second dog or my third dog. I haven't had to put any money, to pay for them.
Wonderful.
And
Yeah.
so it really is a wonderful
It's
thing.
beautiful. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to get a dog, I mean, they will help you to locate or get in touch with different organizations that are very willing to help us finance a service dog for you. So it's a wonderful opportunity. I just really think that what a wonderful gift it was for me in my life, and I can't say enough about Paws with a Cause. And they're always there for you if I have an issue. Because when I first got Cal, I could get myself out of bed. And then things started getting more difficult. And so when I told the trainer, he said, well, let's work on it. And so if new things crop up in your life that start to give you more issues or trouble, you talk to the trainer and they'll respond. They'll come and see if there's something that they can do.
Oh, that's excellent. That is just, yeah, I know. Those things can, it can be really depressing when you start to lose that. But I love that positive relationship that you have with Paws and how they'll work with you.
Yes,
I love it.
absolutely.
Well, Carolyn, I have to ask you, I know our time is almost up, but I have to ask you, so we know about Cal and we know about Winnie. What was your second dog's name?
And my Breeze. What a wonderful name too.
Breeze.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I called her my gentle Breeze. She came into my life because it was difficult because I had Cal and she was embedded in my heart, Cal was. And then Breeze came in. She just came in and took my heart back. Yeah, I called her the gentle Breeze.
Oh, I love that. Oh, wow. I felt that breeze. Oh, Carol Ann, that was so beautiful. Yes, what an awesome name. I've never heard of one named Breeze before, but I love it.
Yeah, and I didn't name any of them. They all came with their names. My first one, Cal, but the whole name was Calla. That was my mother's nickname. And when they told me, when they said the name, all I heard was Cal. And I thought, oh, it's a gift from my mother. She's still looking out for me. My mother had passed away. And then when Breeze came, she was the gentle Breeze. And then when Winnie came, my brother, who had passed away a few years ago, his dog was named Winnie. And I thought, oh, my brother's still looking out for me because he used to carry me when I was little into school. And I thought, these things happen. There are no coincidences.
Angels. No, there's not. You've had 3 angels sent to you. Yeah, there is no question of that, Carol Ann. Yes, yes. 3 angels watching over you.
Yeah, I feel very blessed and very loved.
Yes, as you should. Yes, you are loved in abundance. Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that love with us today, Carol Ann. What a
thank you.
pleasure and a joy it's been to spend this time with you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. And Winnie.
Yes, and Winnie. Big hugs and kisses to Winnie.
She's right in back of me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Carol Ann. And give our love to Paws with the Cause as well. We love them, sending them our love too.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you, our listeners, for being with us. We're so glad you could be with us today. We love spending time with you and we love hearing from you. So please, let's stay connected. Keep your questions, comments, or ideas for a show. Anything you have that you want to share with me and Lovey, you can email us at Marcie, Marcie, at petliferadio.com. And you can also follow Working Like Dogs on Facebook and Instagram. You know, we love seeing your photos of your working dogs and the incredible work they're doing with you every day. So keep that coming. We're so glad you could be with us. We look forward to being with you again soon. Take good care.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.